There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen, is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another big edition of Talking Trots. I'm Michael Radley. Myself and Morts are back this week. Our thanks to Hayden King for doing fabulously while we took a break in January. Our thanks to Glen Moore and also Gemma Hayman for coming in. Glen Mortimer, welcome to you. Welcome back. We almost didn't know the way into the studios today. It's been that long.
When your card didn't work at the front gate, I thought,
yes,
there's something here, Michael. They've told us that we're not coming back, and would have been rightfully so, because I thought Hayden and Glenn did an outstanding job. I really enjoyed the episode with Gemma Hayman. That was great, but did a great job. So thank you, Hayden. It was very much appreciated. Kept it ticking along and found some winners along the way, which was good. But it is great to be back, Michael, for another big edition and another big year ahead of Talking Trots. Tough night last Friday night. We'll get straight into it, but I guess we should declare before we start that we don't get paid anything for doing this, and our opinions are our own, Michael, and they're not always right. But tough night last Friday night at headquarters for Bomber. So luckily Hayden and Glenn found a couple over the weekend, but was -7. Hayden, he had been on a pretty good run though, Bomber, I believe. So last night was last Friday night was a bit of a correction. And looking at the races, there was some very good races. Cut and Run, the first part of a driving and training treble for Jocelyn Young, who just so happened to be on the show on Thursday night.
You've always followed the guest, Morts.
Absolutely, comes out a treble training and driving. Fantastic. Soho Santorini flew the gate and was always going to be hard to beat, and it did beat a nice field. Nice timed run by Jocelyn on another big man to get up and score after Joey James looked like he was travelling beautifully down the back. Jaws of Lincoln. Now that horse has got a nice turn of foot, Michael.
Hasn't he?
Wow, I thought he
Very
was
fast.
I thought he was under the pump and just going to finish in the first four, but great finish to the final of the Knights of Thunder. And we'll talk to
Nathan
Turvey, who had a couple of good runners. One who led him up the whole way.
Looked
and
like
just
he had
went
him
down.
covered in the home turn. But
He certainly did. And the other one, which was a great one, we'll talk about as well. Kyle Harper, just too good on Talks Up a Storm, gets him out absolutely beautifully, and just held on in the end, but was a good drive. Easy lead, Rascal, never in danger. Once Steno got to the lead, was going to be hard to beat. Three Rumours galloped out and just gifted Jocelyn the lead to bring up a treble after being on Talking Trots. And Waterloo finished off the night with a very slowly run 2-4 for the 21:30. 3 for Jocelyn training and 3 driving.
you've got a spreadsheet.
Absolutely.
Geez, you've upgraded from last year. Just your little scribbled notes.
I have, because I came here one night and I thought, I can't read what the bloody hell that says. So I thought I'd better do it properly. So Shannon Savelko, I was sat there thinking, I was looking through Albany results going, now why didn't, Shannon drives winners just everywhere.
Yeah.
Why didn't he get one at Albany? Well, I know he's good, but when both meetings run at the same time, it's a bit tough.
hard.
But he is very good. He got a double on Friday night. Albany Friday night, double to the very powerful Michael Young stable and to Hayden Reeves. A double to my man Trent and a treble to Stewie Mack. Saturday night at Northam, double to Shannon Savelko and a double to Junior. And I'm just going to get sick and tired of saying Monday at Pinjarra, just another double to Shannon Savelko and a double to Denny Roberts. And Tuesday at Gloucester Park, just another double to Shannon and treble to Junior. Goes all right, Shannon, doesn't he?
Yeah, drives plenty of winners.
Unbelievable, he really does. And my man Trent got a double in there as well. So It was good to see. It was a really, really good week of harness racing. Of course, we had the Northern Cup there on Saturday night. Watching our coin was very good for the very powerful Michael Young stable. Albany was just some really good pacing all around.
Yep, no, it's been a good summer break, Morts, and
Did you enjoy it, Michael?
Yes, no, it's been really good. And yourself, you seem to be very fresh first up.
Lots to talk about. I got bloody stuff.
You haven't even had a
already.
trial.
I know.
You probably needed one.
I'm glad I got through that first bit. I knew I was going to be a little bit rusty, but we'll just ease our way back into it, and then we're off in a couple of weeks. So
Yeah, we do. We've both got to go somewhere in a couple of weeks, but nevertheless, it's been a great introduction there, Morts.
Now I do have one concern.
Yeah.
Because I've been told about a potential new show. And,
yes.
And I would just hate to think that...
well, do you want to announce that after we speak to Nathan?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll go into detail.
I just wonder whether we're going to have enough...
We break a lot of news here on this show, and this will be another thing that we break.
Just wonder whether we're going to have the budget to make sure we can secure him.
Yeah, got a bit of news to break on this show as well, Mort, so stay tuned. A little bit later on this segment.
It's going to be a big show.
But our guest is waiting on the line.
Yes, and looking forward to a good chat.
Well, Mort, our guest is a man who's going very well at the moment in Nathan Turvey. He just missed out on the Knights of Thunder last week, but a horse that came out of that race and is in again on Friday night is Solesseo Matuca. Let's go back to a win in the Super Series, the Vic Bred, where he took on a couple of horses that we know here in WA, including Rubens Plight, but it showed how his ability when he was with Andy Gath, and here's Solesseo Matuca winning a heat of the Vic Bred Super Series for the 4-year-olds.
Sprint lane to open up some gaps. Victor the Inflictor, Swizzle Stick and bet on the Tiger. 28-1 back straight quarter into the lane. Solesseo Matuca goes for home. Rock and Roll Wallace into the clear. Rubens Plight down the middle running on. Then Mac Cheddar, he's Charlie's Angel. Solesseo Matuca is still in front, charging through along the inside. Rock and Roll Wallace with Rubens Plight late, but Solesseo Matuca has beaten Rubens Plight, and over on the inside.
Yeah, Solesseo Matuca has drawn the pole this week in the Medias Guild Cup, and his trainer joins us on the line, Nathan Turvey. Nathan, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys and listeners. How are we all?
Yeah, really good, and I bet you're pleased, rather than drawing the outside in the Knights of Thunder, you've come up with the coveted Rails Alley in the Media Guild Cup this week.
Yeah, it's obviously a very good barrier draw for him. He probably come at an ideal time in his preparation too. Like, I think his first run, he was definitely going to be underdone, and then last week we drew 9, so we sort of just had to take our medicine and go back. But it's been a good foundation for his third run, I would think.
Yeah, you're happy with him? Like, he's shown you, he looked like he's got a fair share of ability.
His form over East was good, and he was underdone going into his first run, and Gaz said he pulled really hard and probably shouldn't have ran on, but he still went 153 something and ran third. And then last week, he was probably out of the race pretty early, but like the winner, it flew home, and I think my horse actually ran the quickest sectional of the night. So his form's stacking up pretty good.
You're right, he did run the quickest sectional of the night, home in 26.76 when they were absolutely humming. So he certainly didn't disgrace himself. I think he just identified himself as he's got some ability, and he just really had to be pulled back off the gate and, like you said, take his medicine and run home. Interesting race, the Media Guild Cup on Friday night. Very handy field, Nathan.
It is obviously a handy field. All of them are in pretty good form, and they're all sort of any horse in it could probably bob up if the right thing sort of went their way. So our horse was well known for his gate speed over East. So from barrier 1, that will be our plan to hold up.
That's what I was going to say. You've got Gary Hall Jr. on board. I would imagine he's going to ask about his gate speed, but obviously comes out well, just straight to the front and improve the position.
Yeah, look, Gaz probably knows a bit more than me. I do his track work, but we don't do a heap with him. And he did tell me after he drove him the first time, like, he would have flown out. And when I saw him on Tuesday when we drew good, he was
pretty happy.
Like, there wasn't any conversation about us getting cross. So.
Very good. And actually in the race before, you've got a horse which unfortunately is drawn wide out there in a interesting field. It's going to need some luck, but I think think it's still got to be an each-way chance. Of course, we're talking about Rock and Roll Sass out there in Barrier 9 with Gary Hall Jr. Just a 9-horse field over the 21:30. Just back at the start, Nathan.
Yeah, look, she has had a bit of luck in the draw so far this campaign, but her performances haven't been great. Last time in, she was racing really well, but she sort of got her body weight probably got light too quick and then it was hard to sort of get back on her. So this time in, I changed the work around and I had her looking nice and bulky, and I've actually found it really hard. Even though she started racing, every time I went to Shampoo for the races, I was like, it's not coming off you, you're still too big. So after her last week's run, I've just gone back to, she's had a pretty hard week. So, and she looks better for it, but whether or not she's going to be flat or not, I don't know. But I do think she'll run a better race.
So just whatever she does this week, hopefully she'll improve on and be hard as she goes around, hard to beat in the next couple of runs. Because as you said, last campaign in, she was very, very consistent and has just had a couple of favours in the draw, but just hasn't put it together at this stage.
Yeah, she's no world beater, but she is better than how she's going at the moment.
Yep.
Just looking at her, I think it's because she's carrying too much weight, and I thought the racing would just take that weight off her, but it hasn't, so I've had to step in.
And in the last, that's an interesting race 10, just the 6 starters in there. Out of Draw Mobile, which put you out there in gate 6, and of course the biggest danger is straight on the inside, which is Rumour Has It. Should be an interesting race.
Yeah, these two, they've crashed a couple of times of recent, and they're both they're one each, and Rumour Has It is her form's really, really good. Some of her runs have been enormous of late, and I'm really happy with my mare as well. So obviously we're going to probably have to settle outside Rumour Has It, but it probably beat us by a head the first time we did that, and it's going good, but I'm happy with mine as well. So it should be a really good contest.
Yeah, it should be a good race to finish off, Nathan. Geez, the team seems to be going really well. Shell Patch, how did he pull up after the Knights of Thunder, and what he got planned for him this campaign?
He pulled up well. He probably, I know that other horse hummed home, but my personal belief is once we sort of got a length in front, he switched off, which he has done before. And normally when a horse comes, he goes again. But that one come that quick, and it probably wasn't alongside him. I think the gap of how wide it was up the track, I'm not sure if he saw it coming. But he's exceeded our expectations. He's doing a really good job. I think a fast run free-for-all would suit him down to the ground. So, we'll just keep trying to keep him happy, keep his form up, and we'll go towards them and see where he gets to.
All right, and Bunbury, they come back on Saturday night under lights, and you've got a couple of horses going around. Colorado Banner's drawn the pole. Looks like it's going to be hard to beat. How do you pronounce the Azerian? Yeah, how's he going?
Yeah. His first 2 runs have been terrible. But, once again, I've sort of stepped up to him, stepped the work up to him, and, he should go a lot better, I think, this week. So, both of those two have got, if things went their way, they could win, but they should be around the place anyway.
How many horses do you have in work currently, Nathan?
There's 17 at the moment. So obviously cut back down for a couple of years, but the numbers are building back up. Well, I don't really want to go over what I've got at the moment, but there's more in work now than what we've previously had in work over the last year or two.
And just looking at the ownership of some of the horses, you seem to have just a nice spread of some really good owners that own those horses.
Yeah, we do. I've never had and don't have a big owner who goes and spends a lot of money. We just sort of have smaller people that enjoy going in a sort of cheap to mid-priced already going horse, and we've had good results over the years doing it. But obviously we've never come across a real good horse. But everyone seems to enjoy it, and most times, well, not most, a lot of the times people don't lose money, which from my point of view, is a good way to do it.
Well, as a trainer, 668 wins with a 19% win ratio, 3 Group 1s. It's a pretty impressive record. And over 1,000 winners as a driver. So enjoyed a lot of success and got some nice horses and good owners. So I'm sure there's plenty more of success there for you, Nathan.
Yeah, hopefully she's. I don't think we'll add to the driving tally too much anymore. But I'd like to think. Yeah, probably getting a bit better quality of horse into the stable now. But having said that, even if you look around at the fields at the moment, there's some nice horses coming through the grades, and there's plenty of good horses and good trainers over here. So, and it's hard to avoid them all. So just got to keep working hard, and hopefully, luck comes your way.
Well, you're doing a great job, Nathan, mate. Thank you for taking the time out to chat to us, and we'll see you at the track. But it looks like you've got a couple of good chances over the weekend, so good luck. Yeah,
no worries. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
There we go, Nathan Turvey. And tell you what, great bloke, Nathan Turvey. And, geez, he does a good job. The stats you've mentioned there.
Incredible.
600, how many? 600?
668 wins as a trainer and over 1,000 as a driver.
There's only about, I think, 4 trainer drivers that have got over 1,000 for both trainers, wins as a trainer and also wins as a driver in WA's history. So he's closing in.
He's right up there.
He's closing in on those. I think the latest to do it was Kim Prentice. Colin Brown's done it. I think Fred Kersley.
He's a good bloke too, Nathan. I sent him a note saying, would you come on the show, and straight away back with no problem.
No, he's a good fella.
Great, always happy to give his time, and does have some nice horses going around.
And wins the races. Great success. And when a whisker of winning a Pacing Cup, I think, a couple of years ago.
Which one was?
Is that the one that Emily was driving? Miracle Moose?
Yep.
Was that Nathan's?
Okay. Went around yesterday at Albion Park.
Right, okay. Still going around.
Yep.
Yeah, it's over in Queensland. So, does a really good job. And tell you what, he's got 3 really good chances on Friday night and then a couple on Saturday. But you wouldn't be surprised if you walked away with 3 or 4 over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, before we get to a big announcement about Tab Radio... just seen an email that's got introduce a new field selection approach to the premier races in WA, Morts. After an internal review and consultation, Racing WA is introducing a new and comprehensive ranking system to determine the contenders for prestigious harness racing events. Rankings will now be determined based on a set of criteria considering performance on a list of races, including preludes in some instances. These rankings will be regularly updated and lead up to each race, ensuring that the real-time information about their horses standing into getting into these races. And the 6 premier races that will have these new rankings will be the Group 1 $300,000 Retrovision Fremantle Cup on 26th of April, the Group 1 $150,000 Trots WA Oaks on October 4, the 200,000 Group 1 WA Sky Racing Derby on November 1, the $400,000 Group 1 and Grand Circuit Race Tab Touch WA Pacing Cup on 8th of November, the $150,000 Wares Mestral Classic at Group 1 level on 22nd of November, and the $200,000 Retrovision Golden Nugget for 4-year-olds on the 13th of December. So that's the 6 races this year. Cameron Brown has said the new approach will empower connections, including owners, trainers, in selecting the fields and giving their horses the best chance to possibly to attain the start. Importantly, it will also contribute to the overall excitement and promotion of these high-profile races. You're a big fan of rankings, Morts?
I certainly am, Michael. As an owner, you'd like to know. You like to know whether you just need to roll the dice and go here or go there to make sure your horse can get through, or what you can do. So, because you don't want a nasty surprise. You just want to see it.
And these races actually have good lead-in races. So you've got to go to those lead-in races, like the Pacing Cup now has the Brennan and the Stratton.
Yep.
And there's races around that you're trying to get in, make sure you're in those races and putting it forward. And same with the Derby, you've got the 3-odd races leading and the Oaks. So, but, and you've got to race in those races to make sure that you're, securing. You can't go and just win a provincial race by a big way and think you got to get into these races. But it's good to know where you got to stand. So you know that if you're down, you're going to need to really show up and win one of these races or perform really well in these races to lift and get in there. But at least you know you're not wondering, am I in the top 12 or am I just outside the top 12? You'll have a good idea.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a great thing, and it will encourage a lot of conversation, a lot of debate, and of course there's going to be But people
are going to be unhappy with whatever you do. Of course,
exactly. So, but I think it's
more transparent as far as where you're set, rather than thinking that you're in the top 12 and
all
you're
of
not.
a sudden you're not.
Yeah.
And you're not even. There's been times when you're not even an emergency, and you think, well, how could that happen? I thought, well, this way at least you won't have to worry about that. You'll be able to see that this is where we are, and I'm going to need to go to that race next week. I was thinking about having a week off. Now I think I need to go because I need to make sure I get that spot.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
And also they've announced a couple of announcements from the harness office. The Westbreds moved to one night. So before we used to have the 2-year-olds on a night and a 3-year-olds. The introduction of the 4-year-olds I think is going to be really good this year. 100,000 for both the mares and the 4-year-old Entires and Geldings. But now to be run on the one night. Previously it hasn't been done, mainly because of maximising the premium meetings for wagering. So you get an extra
percentage,
a higher percentage of returns, particularly on the racefields legislation and the race levies for a premium meeting. But those have changed over the years, and now we're in a position where virtually all Friday nights at Gloucester Park are premium meetings. Mm-hmm. There's not too many that aren't these days. So we can actually move some of these races into bigger nights and make them bigger nights. And I think it's going to be great to showcase the Westbred races and the Westbred horses because, as we know, how the breed's improved, has continued to improve and producing, outstanding horses year after year after year now that can compete with the best horses. And I think it's going to be a great showcase. We've got the Sales Classic coming up where we've got both the 2- and 3-year-old races on. And I think this will be a great night as well. Much like they do interstate, they have Breeders' Crown and Vic Bred and New South Wales Breeders' Challenge. So on the one day, and this is going to highlight the Westbred horses.
I think it's a great idea. Time will tell whether it's successful or it's good for wagering. But I think
I don't think there's any downside on wagering.
So at the moment, I think it's certainly worth a try. I think it's a great idea, and I think it'd be a fantastic night. Be good to showcase the Westbred, particularly the $215,000, $100,000. The amount of money which is going to be available on that night, which should be enough incentive for people to want to be a part of harness racing in WA, and the money which is available from Westbred. It's absolutely enormous. It's a great program, and I think it's a great idea. And I don't see any downside, and I'm sure there'll be some people that don't like it, but I think it's absolutely worth a try.
Yeah, there's not too many negatives from my side of things.
Correct.
It just makes sense to highlight the Westbred and the best of the Westbred on those one nights, and I think it's going to be a great night, and hopefully that Trots WA get behind it and really support it as far as promoting the night as well.
Yeah, it's going to be all about promotion, on-course promotion as well. From a media perspective, making sure we're getting great coverage on the night and involvement, engagement from participants, and it could be a really good show. We'd obviously try to get it kicking off early to maximise that betting in from the eastern states. So I imagine we'd try and kick off earlier than what we normally would. In terms of our normally we're about race 5 or 4, 5 or 6 for our main race. Hopefully bring it forward a couple so we can.
Yeah, they'll have to look at it and see how they fit in best and what's going to maximise the return and which ones they go with first, because obviously the 2-year-old is the highest prize money race, but to tell you the truth, the 3-year-old's probably going to be, turnover more simply because they know the horses better. Yep. And that's just the way that it is. And that's not taking away from the 2-year-olds not being very good horses. They're just not as well known going through. So so the 3-year-olds, they've been around for the 2 years of racing and got that following. So, but it's going to be interesting, and I think it's a good move.
I think it's a good move. The one thing I'm not obviously not happy about though, Michael, is the
you don't like it. I'm not against it. The heats for the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the heats. I just want to see the best horses race. Saying that, whenever the heats nights are on, even if I don't have a horse there, I always go and watch them because I love watching the 2-year-olds and that. Me personally, I don't bet in the heat because I'm not sure that they're all trying to win the race. They're trying to qualify. But I just want to see the best horses, and I'd just hate to see a horse get inconvenienced by a horse galloping and just completely miss a $200,000 race. It's people say, it's just bad luck in racing, but gee whiz, it's really tough when you.
I generally think 99 times out of 100 the horses get through. So particularly in the 2-year-olds, heats getting through and stuff like that. So there might be some sort of an issue, but I don't think it happens that often. And generally in the 2-year-olds, there's a wider gap in ability. So the better horses can probably do a bit more work than horses sitting on the pegs and trying to qualify. There's a bigger gap in the ability in horses nominating. So I'm not against the heats. I know that.
But they're not. I mean, we haven't had heats before.
No, but I'm just saying in 2-year-old racing generally, and looking at heats for other races as a 2-year-old, there's generally a bit of a bigger gap than say lead-in races for other races.
So why wouldn't you just have preludes? And then it just removes it. I'm not. You can go either way. I'm not too concerned either way. I know you don't like them, but I just don't like heat. Full stop.
Yeah,
and a lot of people will disagree, and that's fine.
I reckon 50%.
It's just my opinion.
50% like heats, 50% don't. So whichever way you go, you're going to probably alienate a large group of people. But
I just want to make the other 50 happy that I'm amongst. But no, it is. Like I said at the start, it's just my view. And not saying it's right, but it's my view. I just would hate to see. We don't do it in the Miracle Mile. I don't recall seeing it in the Cox Plate. And I don't recall seeing it anywhere except these races, and I don't understand why.
Yeah,
I mean they don't have them for the Miracle Mile.
But there's qualifying races.
What, like preludes?
Yeah, no. Well, there's qualifying where you got to win.
Because they just want to get the best horses.
Well, sort of.
Yeah, anyway.
I don't know whether that always does it either. But anyway.
Okay, well.
I did like the Miracle Mile when it was just selected.
It was nothing better. It was great. It was really, really. I mean, that was when it was at Harold Park, which was hard to beat. Yeah. Very hard to beat. It's got a couple of other. So, the smaller field sizes at Gloucester Park, which we've seen over last 3 to 4 weeks, is that more around the change of the season?
I think
programming of.
I think the programming is still trying to work out what the horse population is at certain times of the year, because at the moment there doesn't seem to be too many 3-year-olds around.
And we kind of moved the Fremantle Cup from January.
Yeah, well, the free for all go out. Yeah,
and that back there. So
the free for alls go out. So I think they're going to have to change the program at certain times of the year to then maximise the program, and then they've made a change this week, and we've got
correct
the highest nomination. Yeah, and sometimes you're going to have to do that at certain times of the year, I think. Yeah. But I'm tipping in, like a month or so's time, it's going to be back to the normal program of full fields. So I think it's just at the moment the horse population and where they go. And a lot of horses now, a lot of trainers were down at Justin Prentice's last week, and a lot of babies in work that they're concentrating on, and there'll be a lot of trainers now concentrating, bringing those babies through, getting ready for the Sales Classic, and so there's horses in work, but maybe not quite ready to race and different things like that. So it will. I think the change of the season and the change of the feature race calendar has affected certain things, but the the harness office has got to have the ability to adapt and move forward and change.
Agreed. And maximise field sizes in our best turnover meetings, which is Friday night Gloucester Park, Monday Pinjarra, the Tuesday meeting.
Yep.
And I just wonder with the moves of some of those races as to how...
no doubt it's had effect.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they just need to continually work on making sure they get that mix.
That's right.
Right. It's a difficult time.
And also making sure conditions, because you don't want horses that are in the condition pace being forced to race in the free-for-all and not being able to go back to the condition pace as well. That's not fair. If you've been balloted out of one race, forced in the other, you can't go back into your right grade. So that shouldn't happen either. So there's a few things that they've got to tackle and make sure that, we're maximising and giving every horse a chance to race and getting them in there.
Yep.
No doubt.
Very good.
You didn't tell me you get asked that.
I can't tell you everything.
No, you can't. You don't tell me anything usually, so...
Yeah. We'll have a conversation about the heats and the
2 hours with Glen Moore. Anyway, Silky, thanks for filling in, Silky.
Did an outstanding job.
Yeah.
Now, where are we? Lights go on in
Bunbury.
Saturday night. How good is that?
Yeah, good luck to Jonathan Calver and the team down there at Bunbury. It's been 2 years since they've raced nights.
New Year's Eve 2021, I believe.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. So great to see the lights going on back down there. And
good luck to the whole Bunbury team down there. And there's a big 8-race card, the first at 5:53. If you're in Bunbury, go and check it out. There's plenty happening on track as well. Make sure you go and have a look at the lights. The new lights, I'm tipping they're bright. And,
you'd think they would be, which is good.
Yeah, it's great to see them back and gives us all also more adaptability
bit
to
more
race
flexibility,
races. For meetings to be run. And good luck to the team at Bunbury. As I said, the first at 5:53 on Saturday night. And they've thrown in the Retrovision Pace race number 8. Another track you're sponsoring, Morts.
Yeah,
Gloucester Park, Pinjarra, Bunbury, Busselton.
Busselton, yes.
Busselton, plenty of red down at Busselton during the carnival.
Yeah, look, there is. And as I said, we are very keen supporters of harness racing, full stop, not any particular track. We like to support all the regions we possibly can. I just realised, though, that we've got a great Retrovision store down in Albany, and I don't recall seeing any signage down there. So
no, we might have to
get onto them. Michael, the 1177 metre sprint races, has there been any feedback or
not that I've seen
or anything around? I mean, we've been doing it for a while now. You would think we should have been afforded turnover figures or things.
It's the problem with the turnover figures is they are delayed by about 3 months. So you might get the first couple, but I'm not too sure whether they'd have all the because you want to have a look at a number of races rather than one off because it could skew. But I'm not too sure. Actually, our man Eddie Birchall
might have been nice.
He messaged me. He messaged me like about a week ago asking me for the same information, and I don't have any. But
wouldn't it be nice if somebody said, "Hey, we can't supply this at the moment," because so many people keep asking, saying, "Oh, what do you think about these racing?" I said, "Well, some of them I've watched have been good to watch. Are they good for turnover? I've got no idea."
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the figures. But, as I said before, I don't think there'd be too much difference either way. But, I mean, you get some people that refuse to bet on them. And then, but, you know, the majority of the people that are punting on harness racing are next race punters.
So whether it's
sometimes they might not even know how far the race is. That's just what they're punting on the next race. They're analysing the market and backing the horse in the market.
Yeah.
That's what a lot happens. But so I don't know whether it would affect it too much, just to race. But be good. We might put in a message to Cam and see if we can get something.
Yeah, would be good because there are people asking about that.
And entitled to as well because it is a trial. So you want to know the results of that trial.
Yep,
for sure.
Another topic there, but I'll save that for another day.
Okay, now. Before because the sales are coming up, we'll have a quick chat about that. But Hayden King, welcome to the program once again. Thank you for covering the show and covering for us over the past 6 weeks.
No worries.
Is it 6 weeks?
My pleasure. Hope the listeners enjoyed it as much as I did.
No doubt
they actually did, Hayden. The reason they did was because normally people would say to you, "Hey, Morts, when are you coming back?" And they've just said, "Morts, are you coming back?" In other words, we're very happy with who we've got, and I know you converted my brother. He would religiously listen. He thinks you're great. Good tips, and the
numbers might have gone up.
Yeah, the Rooster would listen. He's a big fan of Hayden's, but did an outstanding job, and Silky. And loved the show with Gemma Hayman, was really good.
Yeah, that was my favourite one, getting Gemma on. I think it was great to get a point of difference, not only for her being a female involved in the industry, but also someone that's heavily and intimately involved with horses and can provide that kind of insight. I think that's something that's really different and really valuable, as opposed to us. We can pontificate as much as we'd like, but we're never going to be as close as someone like Gemma is to the animals.
Yeah, no, she was great. And as you said, it was a really good insight. And she shared some good information through the whole night. And as always, our host, we'll call him our host because
the host is the most.
Our show's nothing without without Hayden, who does a great job. But
now we do have an announcement of sorts. Now, over the last couple of years, Matthew Young has done a great show, One Out, One Back, on a Tuesday.
He does.
Unfortunately, that show's not going to come back. But we are pleased to announce that after weeks and weeks of negotiation, they tell me, Hayden King will be hosting a new harness racing show on a Monday, which will preview both Pinjarra on the Monday and the Tuesday meeting, majority times Gloucester Park. And I think it's great that we're going to have because we need the harness content here on Tab Radio.
Absolutely.
And Hayden, great to announce on this program that you've got the show on the Monday. Still working through the details though.
Yeah.
But hopefully in the next couple of weeks we're going to fire up the new show on Tab Radio and preview the Monday and Tuesday.
Yep, I've still got a couple of things to work out. My hope is to get Gary Hall Jr. on for a review as a regular guest every week, and I did mention it to Junior, and at first he said no, and then I asked again and he said yes, but you'd know, talking to Junior, it's always kind of an absent conversation, so I'll talk to him again and hopefully he commits fully and I explain exactly what I want us to do. But I want to talk to him about the races on the Friday previous, and I think that would be so different and so refreshing to get the opinion of a driver, someone who's, in the estimation of Gary, who's our number one driver in the state by some margin, if stats are anything to go by. I think everyone, and not just WA people, would find that good to listen to and they'd get something out of it, because that's not something you're accustomed or privileged to get as a punter, and I think that's something that we could really light up the airways with. Also, in addition to that, I'd like to focus primarily on previewing the Monday and the Tuesday cards, so I've got an expert who will be looking at those alongside me. Hopefully we can find some winners.
That's outstanding.
Very good. Very good. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
We just need a name for it.
Yeah, so name's important. So, but
that'll be great. You do a good job.
Tell you what, the listeners, if anyone is listening, they can suggest some names tonight. And if we get this name quickly, the show could even be on Monday. It's looking more likely to be the Monday after, but this one's directed probably specifically at Eddie, because I know he's one who actually listens to the show for one, and two, he's got some strange thoughts in his head, so he'll come up with a clever name for us to go with, and if anyone has them, drop them in the comments on Twitter and I'll look at them and hopefully one of them rings true.
That'd be great. And as you said, Hayden, it'd be great to have Gary Hall Jr. giving that insight as to what's happened Friday night and what to look forward to on the Monday and Tuesday. I'm sure you'll do an excellent job and I'll be listening.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about it is Matt was a great show and for a number of years did a review of the Gloucester Park and then a preview of the Tuesday meeting and of course all the other things that Matt did, the interviews. But this program will preview Pinjarra as well. So our two major midweek meetings, Monday, Tuesday, will be previewed. So I think the Monday will work well for you, Hayden.
Well, you still got to remember, Matt's still doing those previews on Monday, Tuesday as well for Pinjarra Gloucester Park. So now you've got the variance of opinion.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, this tipster, he's been on fire the last 2 weeks. I've seen him a couple of times, and every time he's tipped me a 20-1 winner.
We might have to get him on the show in the next week just to preview your show.
Yeah.
To introduce him to the listeners.
It'd be a good idea. Very good idea.
Yeah.
He passed the test. Pete had to ring him and grill him. And from what I heard, it was a really authoritarian treatment he got. But he passed with flying colours. So if he gets past Peter O'Neill, you know he's ready-made.
That's very good. That's very good. Well, mate, congratulations. Really looking forward to the show, and great to have content because, you know, without Matthew's show early in the week, it's great to have some content there and hopefully that, you know, it's a great promotion for harness racing and we're moving forward. So congratulations, mate.
Thank you. And that's the overwhelming reason
we thought we lost you a year or two ago. You pulled right back. You're going to write a book.
Yep.
We've got you back.
Yeah, and I will go back to writing the book one day. But I think the main reason why I've continued doing this show as well with you guys while you have been away is it's really important that we get the promotion of harness racing. And I think it's something that is worth a great deal to the industry people, and they hold it precious that we have a program that we can, one, be proud of, or have a voice and discussion, because without the necessary discussion and chatter about harness racing, it's going to fall apart. So any positive or even negative, any positive engineered thought toward harness racing we can develop is good. And I think that's a challenge we're going to face in the next couple of years. So hopefully we can get this going.
Hopefully you find plenty of winners for all the listeners out there. Before we go to the break, Morts, this segment is brought to you by Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist. RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. And as you said, you've got a big store at Bunbury, you're down at Busselton, Albany's
one of our biggest stores. In Albany.
You've opened the new one at Ellenbrook.
We have, and until Sunday, the 4th of February, we have our up to $400 cash card on air conditioning. Now, we both melted coming to the, tonight, so
a bit warm.
Until the 4th of February, you've still got a couple of days to go, up to $400 cash back on your air conditioner at Retrovision. So get in and say Morts and Rads sent you, and they'll probably whack on an extra 10%.
Yeah, you know I don't do well in the heat. We've also, just before we go to the break, the sales coming up March 3, so a month's time at Middle Swan. And tell you what, all these 2-year-olds are starting to step out now. We're seeing more and more at the trials. There's a few at Bunbury this week. They've been at Pinjarra. They're starting to race. You had one that go around yesterday that got around okay.
Yeah,
Captain
nice.
Crunch filly.
Yeah, Captain Crunch filly out of Winter Strike.
Winter Strike, yep. And I'll tell you what we saw.
Very nice.
Saw a couple of trial pretty good the week before. Dylan Edgerton Green.
Boy, that went
by Captain Crunch as well. Captain Sterling out of Chemical Romance, making it a half to the
Chemical
Great
Romance, the very fast.
Against the great, half to the Great Mare.
Yeah.
Embedder's Destroyer. But tell you what, they're stepping out, and they look. There's some really nice 2-year-olds. So as we get closer to the Sales Classic and the sales, we'll see more and more horses. And on Monday, Morts, a nice 2-year-old filly stepped out, was going around against the boys, and it was an $80,000 purchase at the sales by Sweet Lou out of Betsy Precious for Swandu, and trained by Mike Reid in Ruby Lou, and she did a good job. There was a bit of speed up early and just settled her down. She came with the run and ended up proving too good. But no doubt she'll look to be heading towards the Sales Classic in a month's time. As we go to the break, let's listen to Ruby Lou getting the cash in the Andrew Hasty 2-year-old at Pinjarra Monday.
A length and a half on the turn. 4 Mil moving up around repossession, and Coulda, Shoulda, Woulda is a long last as they swing into the straight after a 28.9 third quarter. On the outside, Ruby Lou strides up to Captain Said So. Back on the pegs is repossession, and then comes 4 Mil in fourth, but Ruby Lou starting to draw away now in the closing 50. Favourite coming clear, and Ruby Lou goes on to win by around about 2 lengths to Captain Said So from repossession in third.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Tiger Rule deep out, Jaws of Lincoln from Al Capone, Arden's Horizon. He hasn't moved on Shalpatch yet. Now he goes for it and it bolted clear. Shalpatch led by 5 metres to Tiger Rule, who's into the clear. The outside, Jaws of Lincoln flashing, Shalpatch in front. Jaws of Lincoln flying, Shalpatch. Jaws of Lincoln absolutely flew and got up to win. Great win. Jaws of Lincoln has won the night.
Certainly was a great win. Jaws of Lincoln, trained by Justin Prentice, driven by Gary Hall Jr. 27-7, 27-6 leader to winner for the last 2 quarters, and certainly off the track went a little bit rough around that home bend, but once he straightened up, came with a really good turn of speed. Spoke to Justin after the race, and he mentioned how quick the horse was, and he's got a lot of speed.
He does. That was a very impressive win. Very good win.
Might see a few more good wins out of that, and the form line should hold up out of that race.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah.
It was a good series.
Sorry?
It was a good series tonight.
It was. Yeah, it was a good series. And Shalpatch looked like it had it all parcelled up, but absolutely flew. Jaws of Lincoln.
Yep, sure did. All right, this segment is brought to you by our good friends at Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work, 730 stockists nationwide. And Morts, they are a mark of true skill.
They certainly are. See, they're expanding their non-safety range.
The non-safety range.
Yeah, which I always thought, does that mean they're unsafe?
No, they're definitely not.
They're not unsafe.
We know.
They are non-safety. In other words, they don't have the steel cap.
Yeah.
But they're increasing their range just for general wear.
Everyday wear.
And
wear them to the office.
It was quoted by the co-founder of Steel Blue, Mr. Ross Fitzgerald, that Steel Blue was committed to providing greater choice in the soft toe range. They look magnificent, some of those.
Really good.
They've got one called the Brunswick and one called the Hobart, and they're really nice-looking boots.
Yeah, they sure are. And,
very
you
nice.
wear them to the office.
Certainly can.
Wear them everywhere. All right, sponsoring this race, this segment is Steel Blue. All right, it's a big welcome back to our tipster. Well, he's been on the program. We haven't, but it's good to hear his voice from our side of things. Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, welcome to the program.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, long time no speak, and it's good to hear from you and have the whole band back together.
Yeah, it's tell you what, we must be fresh. We've done a lot of talking in the first segment. Morts was fired up, and he still hasn't even got through half what he was going to talk about either.
No, I haven't. But can I ask you a question without notice, Bomber?
Absolutely.
Just talking about heats for the Westbred Classics. Okay, and I know I go on about this, Michael, but I'm pretty passionate about it.
You are.
Now, we obviously have heats for the Pearl, and so we should, because people pay up for those races, so you're entitled to that. The Westbred Classics, my view, I'd just love to get the best horses, have some preludes on the way through. What's your preference, to have heats or look at something else, Bomber?
I've always been a big fan of heat racing, to be fair, Morts.
I'm sorry I asked you about that. So who sponsors the next segment?
Walked into that one.
Gotta be honest with you.
No, that's okay. I'm happy to hear Bombers. Yep.
Yeah, I know with the babies that can be a little bit more tricky because you can have a few errors and things like that along the way. But I've always just been a big fan of heat racing, and I've never really wavered from that. Preludes don't quite do it for me from a hunting perspective, but I can understand both change of thought, that's for sure.
All right. No, well, that's good. Good to get different perspectives.
Sure is. Everyone's got an opinion.
Yep.
And it's very ranging on this. So whatever they do, you get upset a heap of people. But people are going to be really supportive of it, and other people aren't going to like it, and same way. So you just got to make a decision and go with it. Is basically what you got to do. So we'll see what happens. All right, we're going to kick off in race number 2. This is the Matt Young, winner of the leading tipster competition. He's always thereabouts, Matt, in the Media Guild tipping contest. And this is a really interesting race. We've got our Shelley Beach for the really good combination of Mike Reid, Shannon Zavelko. The Mickey Takers first up. This horse has got a lot of ability, but geez, he's been injury plagued. If we get to see the best of him, it'll be really good. Post game for Gemma Heyman and Chris Vogt. And then on the back line, we've got High Price and Joey James. This is a really interesting race, Bomber. Which way are you going?
Yeah, it is. There's quite a few chances, I think. But I thought, just looking for a bit of value. And I thought Flying Rumour, I was super impressed with this horse last start. He's not one that I've sort of been a big fan of along the way, but he just keeps on getting better and better, I think. He's been quite good all campaign, and he chased home a quality horse there last start, and he ran some pretty good sectionals in doing so. He didn't particularly run the gate. He worked up 4 wide to the breeze before grabbing cover over the last 1,000, and then he was produced 3 wide around the last corner and still ran a 55.67 last half. So, I was really, really impressed with that, and the fact that he just continued to hit the line, I thought tomorrow night it was a nice race for him.
How do you see the map there, Bomber? Obviously, there's our Shelley Beach on the end. There's some nice horses on the inside of Flying Rumour. How do you see it mapping out?
Yeah, there is some speed underneath. I thought our Shelley Beach could be the first to the pegs, and now Kyle's got options with this horse now, as we've seen from last week. He can roll the gate if it looks like our Shelley Beach might be the only one to go forward, and or he can just sort of work his way forward there like he did last week. And there's, you've got the new horse outside him as well, which will probably go forward. So, I think either way he's going to find himself in a pretty forward position.
And what sort of price would you be expecting, or what should punters be taking about Flying Rumour in race 2?
I thought we'd get around the $5 mark in this sort of race. There looks to be plenty of winning chances, and his barrier draw certainly doesn't help. But I thought anything north of $5 I'd be happy enough with. And
race 2, number 7, Flying Rumour for Mike Reid and Kyle Symington. $5 plus. What would you be staking at that price, Bomber?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on him. The more I watched his last few runs and the way he just continued to find the line behind that horse last week, I'm happy to have a 2-unit bet. I think it could be a nice result for us.
Could be a really good way to start the night. 2 units at $5. Yeah, okay. We'll wait and see the market for Tab Touch probably early tomorrow morning. Let's have a look at the next race we're going to look at, which is race number 3. This is the Ken Casellas runner-up in the leading tipster. Good on you, Kenny. And we've got an interesting race here again. Sugar Apple, who actually came over looking to get into the Nugget, never quite got there. For Lindsay Harper, looks to be the favourite drawn barrier 2. A few veteran horses going around in this, and you've got a horse that's coming back. Haven't seen it since November. Probably didn't get to see the best of it last campaign, but it's got a lot of ability in Sugar Street. This horse, if the team get him right, is going to win plenty of races in Sugar Street. Which way are we going in race number 3, the Ken Casellas Bomber?
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. It looks to be a battle of the sugars, but I'm with Sugar Apple. I thought he's a big class dropper, and he looks the leader to me. Despite there being a little bit of speed out wide on the track, he chased home Talks Up a Storm, Show Pony, and All Is Well at his last 3. And despite being from unfavourable barriers there, he hasn't been far from disgraced. And last time he led in this over these conditions, he won in quick sectionals and with his head on his chest, and they never got near him. So no second line here. I thought Lindsay could time the gate and have him up in front, and then Sugar Street's got to do the work from there. And I think the fact Sugar Street's in the race will ensure we get the right price, Sugar Apple.
And what price are you expecting Sugar Apple, Bomber? What's acceptable?
I reckon $1.80 plus, Morts. Be happy enough with it. Like I said, Sugar Street, he's a really nice horse, and he can do it tough. So I think that will enable us to get a decent enough price.
with Emily Savelko on board there for Sugar Street, drawn out the 7, going to make it a little bit tougher first up. But Sugar Apple has drawn well in number 2. Your man, Michael, Lindsay Harper, training and driving. He's in good form, as always. Very tough to beat in front,
Yep.
Lindsay and Kyle.
Yes,
Both of the Harpers, very, very hard to beat in front. Minimum $1.80. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, 3 unit bred. I'm pretty keen. I think he'll find the pegs and he can just rate him to beat Sugar Street from there, I think.
All right, now we got Sugar Street's stablemate is the favourite in the Trotters Cup, which is the feature Bomber, which is race number 5, the $50,000 Trotters Cup at Group 2 level. Standing start off the 10 handicap at 220. Eva's Image at 390 from Tab Touch is on the second line of betting. Elegant Peak off the front at 850, and a couple of the veteran horses. So I think last year's winner Patched is off the 40 metres. Tricky Vic off the 40 as well, both at 950, along with Alabaran Sundown off the 10 at 950 as well. Did you have a tip in the Trotters Cup, Bomber?
Yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to tip into, Rads, but yeah, I can see if our Maestuoso does step and he's in that first 5 or 6, he certainly looks a winner, but yeah, I couldn't be betting at that price in a Trotters stand, that's for sure.
No,
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
Haven't finished doing the form yet, Bomber.
Interesting to see how a few of the Patched and Tricky Vic, the 2 old timers. Well, I don't say 2 old timers, but they've probably got more runs under the belt than a few others in the race, and performed at the top level for quite a period of time at 950, both coming off the 40 metres. So it'd be interesting to race the Trotters Cup.
And juniors elected to drive Eva's Image, Eva's Image
yes.
for the very powerful Michael Young stable.
At $3.90 on
off the 10 metres, yes.
All right, it's time to take a break. As we mentioned earlier, Jocelyn Young, gee, she's been going well. Doubles, trebles.
I'd expect Nathan's going to get at least a double on Friday night.
You'd hope so.
After,
you'd hope so after being on the show. As we go to the break, let's listen to one of Jocelyn's trebles from Friday night. It was another big man getting the cash.
Big man Baldergaze, Joey Jones about to be gone for on the corn, leads by 3 metres. Trying hard, Goodfellas, the inside, the Kraken, then Regal Cheval, but Joey James is clear with 100 metres left to go. The Kraken is trying to get out. Another big man flies late. They're swamping the leader. Another big man right down the outside with Regal Cheval, and it's another big man going home brilliantly to score. Another big man has beaten home Regal Cheval on the inside, the Kraken who got through it.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
They're clear. Rubens Plight not doing enough. Diorsi inside, but it's I'm a 5-star General racing up on the outside of October Rain. Diorsi is getting out as well. I'm a 5-star General hit the front from October Rain. Diorsi is late, but it's I'm a 5-star General in front. Diorsi flies late. October Rain, but I'm a 5-star General races home from Diorsi. October Rain.
Yeah, really good win. I'm a 5-star General. Morts had to do it the tough way. Rubens Plight was favoured. Once it got across, was in a bit of pain, and Robbie Williams just dictated terms outside the leader, and his class showed in the end.
Certainly did, and was a very good run by Diorce to get up and run second.
Yeah, sure was.
Didn't get beaten by much, but no, the other one did it very tough out there and just had too much and held off Diorce at the massive price of about $100, I think.
Yes, $81 officially, but probably on some parts was more than that, touching three figures. All right, this segment is brought to you by Loans 123 Car Loans Debt Consolidation. All your personal finance. Morts, who do you see?
The great man, Steve Sell, or as we affectionately know him, the Nude Nut.
We sure do. Loans123.com.au or 1-800
100 100. It's still doing things the banks can't.
So easy. Been away for 6 weeks. We still know that.
Don't even need the paper in front of me.
Sure we don't. Great to have Stevie Sell and the team supporting us here at Tab Radio.
I bet he doesn't like Trots. Bet he doesn't like heats.
Indeed. All right, let's get into the next race. We get a preview. And as I have a look, it is race number 8. And Tab Touch have a market for race number 8, Morts. Let's click on that and see what we've got from Tab Touch. And we've got the horse you spoke about, the horse. $15 they put up into $11. American Bullet, $15. Fleur de Marquis, $15. Arden's Horizon, even money, open $2.20 into $2. Without the $21. Akuto, $21. And Watching Our Coin, the Northern Cup winner, $175. And he's been really solid and stayed at the same price from opening. Bomber, race number 8, the Ernie Manning, Matt Young, Wayne Carroll, most winners in the season. What have you got for us in race number 8?
Yeah, got against the favourite. I think Arden's Horizon only has to step here, and I can't see him being beaten if he does. His last 2 efforts in the Knights of Thunder heat and final have been near career best performances, and last time he was able to work to the front under these conditions at GP, he ran a 158 mile for the 2500 and got beat by Minstrel. There's no Minstrel in this race, and as long as he can land, as long as he hits his hobbles early, I don't think any of the 1 or 2 would want to hold him out. Fleur de Marquis is normally a slow beginner at best, so he will get his opportunity so long as he hits them nice and early. And in front, I think he'll be too strong for Watching Our Coin.
And what price would you be wanting for Arden's Horizon, Bomber?
Yeah, I don't think we want any less than the now even money, but I doubt that we'll get any worse than that. He might just come in and out, fluctuate a little bit there, but I think $2 is a fair price and happy to take it, Mort.
ODS, that's always encouraging when you see that, isn't it? I love seeing that on the horse you've backed. So race 8, number 4, Arden's Horizon, trained by Callan Zavelko, driven by Callan Zavelko. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, 2 unit bet. Like I said, he does have to step, but I think that's the only query.
All right, and we're going to finish the night with a mares race, and it's an interesting mares race as well. The Trots in syndication pace, Morts, and Trots in will be at the sales on the APG sales in March.
Now, if I recall correctly, Michael, the last couple of horses you had went like that.
Very quickly. So you can register interest at info@gloucesterpark.com.au, and
it could be a good idea.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated with any purchases that we do make with Trots in. But to finish the night, a really interesting, it's a 6-horse mares race, but we've got the Norm's Daughter Classic winner and Beyond the Sea drawn 4, and then we've got the 2 rumours. Rumour has it out in barrier 5, and 3 rumours for our guest tonight, Nathan Turvey. Select field here, Bomber, but I tell you what, really competitive race.
Yeah, I've gone against the guest here, which is Fraught with Danger. They always do really well, but I thought Rumour Has It was the one. She's come out of the Knights of Thunder series, and she's been super impressive despite that 7 beside her name. But even then, she sat up in the breeze, did all the work, and still managed a 55.91 for her last half herself. And I thought she'd bully her way to the top here, and she's got a massive advantage over 3 Rumours from there. She won't be able to go with her off the gate, and I think that'll be the difference. Rumour Has It in front and 3 Rumours in the breeze, and Rumour Has It will just be able to just out tougher, but it will be a super race.
It's going to be a fascinating contest, Bomber, as you say, no doubt whatsoever. 2 very talented horses, and the only difference really between them, is possibly the barrier draw. Is there any chance that these 2 can just worry each other out of it and something get over the top of them, or is it just out of these 2 and you're on Rumour Has It?
I think based on what we've seen over the last few weeks, I'd be surprised. Beyond the Sea would be the only one, but I think she'd need to improve drastically on her last effort. She might not have been right up to the mark there, but his Rumour Has It, she's just been so tough, and I'd be very surprised if they were able to beat her in front.
So what's the price we're hoping to get with Rumour Has It, Bomber?
Anything $1.75, $1.70, $1.75, and definitely a 3 unit bet. I'm super keen she'll take us home a winner.
I can hear the confidence in Bomber's voice. He's going home a winner with race number 10, horse number 5, Rumour Has It for Deborah Lewis, driven by Chris Lewis. Minimum $1.70, line the wallet and go home, Michael. That's what it sounds like.
Indeed, and always love backing the last winner, Morts.
Yes.
Always love backing the last winner. Have you got a multi for us, Bomber?
Yeah, I had put a little 3-legger together. Sure what prices we're going to get just yet, but I thought race 1, number 2, Mar Beach Sam, he's flying, this horse. He's ready to win one, but he may not be able to win tomorrow night, but I'm pretty sure he'll place. Into race 4, number 1, I think he'll lead and win. This is a big drop down from the Knights of Thunder. And then Jocelyn Young, race 6, number 6, Cowboys and Bandits. He had a massive confidence booster on Tuesday, and I think he'll go on with it here.
So, Bomber, just confirming, was the first one the place?
Yeah, race 1, number 2, a place, 4, number 1, a win, and race 6, number 6, a win.
Right, just
That's it.
Here's our multi.
Beautiful.
Bomber, beautifully done. Great to be back with you. Hopefully we bounce back and find a few winners. Until next week, we'll speak to you then.
Yeah, great to hear from you guys. Thanks very much. Have a great night.
Good on you, Scott Bomber Hill.
Great man. Good to have him. Good to be back and with him, yeah.
He sure is. Now, horse returning to the track on Friday night, Morts, is Penny Tiger, who won the Knights of Thunder last year.
Very interesting runner at any race he's in.
Yeah, trialled really good at his trial when he had a really good hit out. He's drawn barrier 1. He will be a short price favourite in the Hall of Fame submissions due February 5. And don't forget about the Hall of Fame submissions. If you've got a recommendation for the Hall of Fame in harness racing, get that submission in.
How do I spell it? Radley? No.
Greg.
There's some wonderful company in the Hall of Fame, so it should be another great night.
Yeah, there sure is, and there's plenty of people still to be inducted that's very deserving.
Yep.
But as we get to the break here, Morts, let's go to the trial of Penny Tiger, who was last. But tell you what, he showed a great turn of speed and really was sent to the line by Chris Folk.
Boudica back to third, and then Born to Boogie around the turn. Penny Tiger is firing on all cylinders as they head into the straight. He leads clearly. Margin 10 metres. Franco Ecuador into second place. Chases hard. They were ahead of them by Born to Boogie. Both of those runners are sticking on well, but Penny Tiger, showing his speed, had been able to dash away in that last lap and go home to win. Last section, 26 seconds. Second place there was Franco Ecuador.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Rewind from Burley Chardon to Watching Our Coin is on a move third quarter. 28.57. They turn in the cup. It's Otis just in front. Feeling Aces and Watching Our Coin the outside. Feeling Aces went up to the lead. Watching Our Coin and Feeling Aces. Watching Our Coin doing the better. Another one for Junior. It's Watching Our Coin just from Feeling Aces. Otis, Lucas.
Yeah, Junior and Young combining with Watching Our Coin, winning the Northern Cup. Morts, good win.
Very good win. Very good win indeed. Watch that.
Yep, and Watching Our Coin goes into Friday night at Gloucester Park, where he's going to be hard to beat again as well. So
$1.75, I think he is on Friday night.
I think so, yep, on Tab Touch. This segment is brought to you by our good friends at Bayswater Mazda, and Morts, you know better than anyone else, driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads.
And right now, Michael, they have the 2023 plate clearance on. So get in there and get a magnificent Mazda, just at a slightly better price because it's got a 2023 plate, which is nothing wrong with that. So get in and see the team there. They'll look after you.
Yep, great cars at Bayswater Mazda. All right, time to welcome Hayden King back into the program. Now, just going through the meetings before we get Hayden on. We've got Gloucester Park Friday night, 10 races, the first at 5:54. We got Albany on Friday night as well, so the co-Friday night meeting, the first race at 5:40. So a relatively early start for a Friday night down there at Albany.
Can I say there's been some great racing down there at Albany? I've been watching him, obviously on the Friday night with Gloucester Park.
Saturdays as well, yeah.
There's been some really good racing down there at Albany.
Yep.
Enjoyed it.
Bigger trainers going down and, and some of the other drivers getting a chance to win races, particularly in the co-Friday nights.
Yep.
Saturday night, Bunbury, we've mentioned this before, but the lights are back on 5:53. Won't need them for the first race, Morts.
No, not down there.
5:53. But
great to see them back.
Yeah, great to see them back. They'll be back on, though, by the time they get stuck into the meeting. Good luck to Jonathan and the team. And then Pinjarra Monday, big 10-race card. 10-race card, including a really, eight for the 2-year-old race, which is really good. 7 of the 8 are having their first start, including Captain Sterling.
The one that
went the really quick time.
For Dylan Edgerton Green.
Yeah, Bond's got a couple in there as well, Team Bond. And then Narrogin on Tuesday night. Narrogin's the meeting on Tuesday night. 6-horse, 2-year-old fillies race in at Narrogin as well, but a big 8-race card. So plenty of racing over the next 4 or 5 days. Hayden King, where will you be this weekend? Are you venturing out?
I'll be at Gloucester Park tomorrow. That's it, I think.
Okay, doing the interviews?
Yep.
In the birdcage or on Sky? Tips on Sky?
No, the birdcage interviews.
The birdcage interviews at Gloucester Park. Tune into the Trots WA Twitter feed and also on Fox, on the Facebook these days as well. Or they have been doing it on Facebook as well.
Ever since they've started doing that cross-platform streaming, the quality of image has improved drastically as well, which is really good.
That's good.
Yeah, fantastic. Getting to both the mediums and the platforms.
And they've got some graphics as well. You've got tips coming up on the bottom. So
no, it's been great.
Good.
Yep, really good. So you'll be there Friday night. Where are you going to tip us one this week?
I'm going Albany Friday, Bunbury Saturday, and I've got a couple Narrogin Tuesday.
Okay, all right. Let's roll into Albany on the Friday night. As I said, the co-meeting, 5:40, so a little bit earlier start than a normal Friday night meeting. 8 races on the card. What do you got for us?
Race 3 I'm looking at here, and one at odds, number 10, Crowded Reactor. He is a horse who is unruly, has dubious manners, but when he gets it right, he's not a bad sort. So you'll get a price, and if he does everything right, although drawn outside of the second row over the shortest trip, he'll still be banging it. So that's race 3, number 10. And race 6, number 4. Another one for Hayden Reeves, and another one that will be at big odds. She's a Lucky Penny. Dreadful last start, but did a lot of work off the arm there, and prior form, it's not as bad as it seems, I feel. So standing start gives her a chance to find her rhythm, and I think she'll go better. So ignore the 40-metre beaten margin. She can go okay in that. Race 6, number 4.
Corey Peterson on board as well.
Are they both each way? You'd have something each way on both of those?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Place heavy.
Place heavy, yeah.
Place heavy. So
what's the Richie? One by 4 or?
No, he's it depends. 20 by 80, 10 by 90, 40 by 60. I think 40 by 60 is his favourite.
Yeah, 40 by 60.
The 1 by 5 is a good one for him. It's a 1 by 4. All right, Bunbury on Saturday night. The lights are back on at Bunbury. Go down and have a look at the Donaldson Park and the big crowd that's going to get there for Saturday night. The 8-race card, the first at 5:53.
Lucky Hunty's not calling. They might shoot the lights out.
we don't want that.
No.
We certainly don't want that.
Race 1, number 2, Bonamore. She was just a little bit too enthusiastic at the start last week, and that prevented Kyle Symington from getting behind the leader. I don't know that it would have worked out anyway for her because they went so slowly in that race at every stage of the contest. It was just a 100-metre dash. Like, I reckon if I was in that race, I would have gone close.
You would have gone close?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have been found wanting the last 100, but I would have been there for the rest of it.
Okay.
Might have looked the winner at
some stage.
Yeah, by the candy pole. Yeah. Anyway, Bonamore. This is an easier race, and I think she can go on with it here. Race 1, number 2, Bonamore. Race 4, number 2, Francesco. I think this horse will really appreciate getting out on a bigger track. He's been at Gloucester Park and Northam for the entirety of his career. He now gets out to Bunbury, draws a gate. Be a Lawyer did sit last start, so if he presses on, finds the front, he'd be hard to beat there. Race 4, number 2, Francesco. And another one for Phil Duggan that's going to be massive odds, and another less than honourable type in terms of his gait, gears and a whirl. But he'll be at big odds. Race 7, number 12, and he's not out of this. Another that's over the mile and is drawn outside second row. So we're playing a couple at big odds that require some earnest displays of trotting, which they may not always replicate. But that's why we're getting the odds.
And race 7 is the Happy Birthday Bill Brindley. So happy birthday, Bill. Bill's in a share of one of our Trots Scent horses, Heart of Alia.
But, nice.
Great Great man of harness racing, Bill. And we got Pinjarra on Monday, as I said. We've got 10 races at Pinjarra, the first at 12:02. As I said, that 2-year-old race is going to be one to watch out for, Morts. It's race number 3 at 1:12. And then we get a Narrogin on Tuesday night. 4:17 is the kickoff there. 8 races on the card at Narrogin. What do you got for us there?
Race 4, number 1, Cavalry Call. He actually won first up last start, and he comes into this second up. He steps up to a last 5 less than 8, but he gets his barrier. Out at Narrogin should be a good recipe for success. He's been down to Narrogin before, and he's drawn gate number 1, and he's done the job for us, so hopefully he can do it again. Race 4, number 1, and race 6, number 1, Franco Mecca. I think he can turn over Rock and Rufus, who is drawn in the middle of the row. He did win on Tuesday and arguably stronger company, but Franco Mecca has gate speed. He's got gate number 1 and he's going well as well, so I'm prepared to take the punt on him. Franco Mecca, race 6, number 1.
All right, that's Narrogin on Tuesday. Hayden, thanks for your time.
No worries.
Really appreciate it. As I said, thanks for all your work over the last 6 weeks while we've had a break. Tell you what, we're fired up, Morts. This one.
Before we go.
Yeah, okay.
Relax, it's okay. No, I just want to reiterate that we need people to send in and let's find a name.
Yeah, the name for Hayden.
Hayden's show. We know it's going to be a cracking show and looking forward to listening to it. We just need to find a name so we can get it moving. So be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I expect my telephone to be just going ping, ping, ping all night.
Ping.
So, yeah, hopefully we find a good name for Hayden's new show. It was great to be back. And
can't wait for more details to come out as well, because it's sounding like an excellent show. Another voice on as far as finding winners as well, which is really good.
And I think its timing is great.
Yeah,
and I love the idea of that bit of revision with somebody who knows a little bit more detail about what happened on the Friday night at Gloucester Park will be really good, and then we can look forward to the great card at Pinjarra or Gloucester Park, wherever it is. So.
Yeah, no, previewing of both meetings is really good. So, Hayden, good luck, and no doubt we'll speak to you next week. Morts, thanks for your time. You've been great first up. You'll be much better for the run next week. I can't wait for next week.
I think I'll improve off the run, so I'm looking forward to it, Michael. But thank you very much, and look forward to next week.
Yeah, and we've got the sales, as I said, sales coming up, so we might even start talking to few people involved with the sales as well, and talk about some of the horses that are going to go under the hammer. And I think the catalogue's really good this year. Like, looking at it on paper, it looks really good. So we'll see what we can do in the lead up to the sales on March for the APG sale.
Just gets better every year.
Yeah,
catalogue, it just seems to improve, which is great. So lots of reasons for people to get along and support.
Yeah, and no doubt as well, we're going to start be hearing the slot holders come out for the Nullarbor as well over the next month or so. The first couple, I think there's a couple already locked in that are going to be announced hopefully soon. So I think they've done the deals, they just haven't announced them yet. So hopefully that happens. But obviously,
any surprises, Michael?
I wouldn't imagine so. Yeah. But I think obviously we're going to have to wait for You've got a slot and you've got a couple of options there with Never Ending and Mighty Ronaldo and Tricky Mickey. Bonds have obviously got a slot with a number of chances. Hall's got a slot with a number of chances. So I think we'll be waiting to hear on those slots. They'll be the last few slots going through, but a few of the other slots we might hear earlier. And I think there's a few deals already been done, and hopefully they're announced soon. And
good, and hopefully we
promote
can start,
the race.
Start talking about them and promote the race, because the week after, of course, we have the
Retrovision Fremantle Cup. Yeah, but mate, it's great to be back. Hope everyone enjoyed it. We've spoken a lot.
I'm exhausted. Let's go.
Indeed. All right, thanks for your company, everyone. Until next week, it's bye for now.